Well, why is NASA and the U.S. government hiding the first HD images of the 3I Atlas, this interstellar object, from all of us? This mysterious object just flew right by Mars on October 3rd and 4th, and NASA has some of the most advanced satellite images and satellites orbiting Mars and reconnaissance instruments that are actually tracking this object. Astronomers were able to process data from the Mars Perseverance Rover that gave low resolution images of 3I Atlas on October 3rd and 4th, but high resolution images from the orbiters have still not been released by NASA.
Astronomers monitoring the night sky through NASA's Atlas survey in Chile detected a faint, anomalous object streaking across the heavens on July 1st, 2025. Initially classified as a potential asteroid, further observations revealed its hyperbolic trajectory, confirming it as the third interstellar comet ever identified, following the enigmatic Oumuamua and Borisov. Teams from observatories worldwide scrambled to train their instruments on this visitor, capturing spectral data that hinted at a composition unlike any solar system body. The comet's velocity, exceeding 245,000 kilometers per hour, suggested an origin in a distant stellar nursery, perhaps ejected by gravitational perturbations billions of years ago. As data poured in, scientists noted subtle irregularities in its brightness, fluctuating in patterns that defied standard cometary models. The discovery ignited a global frenzy among astrophysicists who pondered the implications of studying material from an alien star system up close. Yet, amid the excitement, early reports from NASA's internal channels raised red flags, discrepancies in publicly released orbital parameters that seemed deliberately altered. Whispers circulated in scientific circles about suppressed images showing unusual surface features, possibly artificial in nature. The comet's path, projected to bring it within 1.4 astronomical units of the Sun by late October, promised unprecedented opportunities for analysis, but also risks of unforeseen interactions with our planetary environment. Delving into the origins of 3I/Atlas, researchers traced its trajectory backward through the Milky Way, estimating a journey spanning millions of years from a star system potentially in the constellation of Lyra. Unlike comets born in our Oort cloud, this object's composition bore markers of exotic chemistry, elevated levels of heavy isotopes suggesting formation around a red dwarf star with intense radiation fields. Spectroscopic analysis revealed volatile compounds, including unexpected traces of complex organics, raising questions about the building blocks of life in foreign solar systems. As the comet traversed interstellar space, it endured cosmic ray bombardment, altering its nucleus in ways that could explain its current instability. International collaborations, including data from the European Space Agency's Gaia mission, refined its path, but anomalies persisted. Slight deviations in velocity that hinted at possible non-gravitational forces at play. NASA's role in coordinating these efforts came under scrutiny when leaked documents suggested selective sharing of high-resolution spectra, omitting peaks indicative of rare elements. The comet's size, estimated at several kilometers across, made it a formidable presence, capable of influencing nearby celestial dynamics. Scientists speculated on its ejection mechanism, perhaps a close encounter with a black hole or a stellar companion. Yet the data gaps fueled theories of something engineered, a probe disguised as natural debris. As 3I/Atlas approached the inner solar system, observers noted a dramatic increase in activity. By early October 2025, the comet began outgassing profusely, ejecting water vapor at rates equivalent to a fire hydrant on full blast, far exceeding predictions for an interstellar body depleted by eons in the void. Telescopes like Hubble and ground-based arrays captured hydroxyl emissions, signaling the breakdown of water ice, but the volume was inexplicable, suggesting subsurface reservoirs replenished in ways unknown to science. This behavior challenged models of cometary evolution, implying the object had interacted with interstellar clouds or harbored internal heat sources. Mars-based instruments, including those on ESA's ExoMars and NASA's Perseverance Rover, documented its close pass by the red planet, revealing dust trails that interfered with atmospheric readings. Spectral lines indicated not just water, but potential biomolecules, sparking debates on panspermia, the idea that life seeds could hitchhike on such visitors. However, NASA's public briefings downplayed these findings, releasing only sanitized images that omitted anomalous bright spots on the nucleus. Experts analyzing raw data from amateur astronomers detected rhythmic pulses in the outgassing, almost like signals, but official channels dismissed them as artifacts. The comet's flyby of Mars in mid-October 2025 provided a rare observational window, with multiple missions capturing unprecedented details. ESA's Mars Express and ExoMars orbiter imaged the object from orbit, revealing a fractured surface riddled with vents spewing jets of gas and dust. NASA's Perseverance Rover, positioned on the Martian surface, recorded faint seismic tremors potentially linked to the comet's gravitational influence, while its cameras snapped streaks of the passing visitor against the starry backdrop. These observations confirmed the interstellar origins through isotopic ratios mismatched to solar system materials, but also uncovered peculiarities. Metallic glints suggesting embedded structures within the icy mantle. Atmospheric probes detected trace elements from the comet's tail mingling with Mars' thin air, including unexpected noble gases. Yet, as data streamed back to Earth, discrepancies arose. NASA's released footage showed blurred regions where independent analysts claimed to see geometric patterns. Reports from Mission Control hinted at classified briefings where engineers discussed potential risks to ongoing Mars operations, including electromagnetic interference. The comet's proximity amplified its mysteries, with some spectra indicating organic polymers that could mimic biological signatures. Intensifying scrutiny on 3I/Atlas uncovered emissions that defied conventional astrophysics. By October 17, 2025, observatories worldwide detected not only water, but also bursts of radio waves at frequencies unused by human technology, emanating from the comet's core. These signals
behaving differently than perhaps a normal, a normal object would. Maybe there's some sort of a pattern with it. I don't know, but what do you make of this? Someone in the chat, Eddie Schwab in our chat, says this thing looks like the Doomsday Machine from Star Trek. Yes, from the 1960s episode called The Doomsday Machine. It looks exactly like that, kind of like this long cylindrical looking object.
Well, from the get-go, when it was discovered back in July of this year by the Atlas telescope system, what it showed was that this was on a path that was like within 5 degrees of the ecliptic, which is very unusual, and that it would pass close by several major planets. And some astronomers did statistical studies and found that this was very highly unusual and suggestive of some kind of intelligent navigation that was behind this to kind of follow that passage. The lack of a tail is really the most kind of like startling aspect of 3I Atlas, that this is no comet. And this is something that you can see in the very latest, the most recent image that just came out today from the European Space Agency that shows, and I think I sent you a GIF file of 3I Atlas from the ExoMars European Space Agency orbiter that shows a kind of dot. But what's interesting is that there's no tail. And that's very important, because if this was a comet right now, as 3I Atlas is approaching the sun, you would see a tail behind it as it's approaching the sun. But there's no tail. So that's suggestive of something other than a comet that has traveled from some interstellar region to here. And so this is where we get into the a lot of speculation. I mean, many different sources are saying that this is an extraterrestrial spacecraft that is here to really kind of like raise the frequencies of the planet or of the solar system. And some say it's associated with white hats that want to kind of like break the disclosure secrecy. So, there's a lot of speculation about it, but still, the fact is that right now it's very close to Mars, relatively speaking, in astronomical terms, and that the images that are being released, I mean, NASA hasn't released anything yet due to the government shutdown. And that's another factor that people are pointing to, that this is more than coincidental, that just as 3I Atlas approaches Mars, gets to its perihelion, NASA goes into shutdown mode. Is that accident? Is that coincidental? And people are also speculating about the generals being summoned to the Pentagon. I mean, were they really there just to be lectured to in terms of how the woke agenda is no longer suitable in the Pentagon or the Department of War? Or were they being secretly given operational briefings talking about a planetary crisis if it becomes clear that 3I Atlas is a spacecraft and is carrying extraterrestrials who are associated not just with Mars in its ancient past, but also with Earth in terms of underwater colonies. And that's something that would be of great concern to Pentagon generals.
Intermittent and patterned, resembled modulated transmissions, prompting hushed discussions among SETI researchers about possible extraterrestrial origins. Chemical analysis via infrared spectroscopy revealed compounds like formaldehyde and methanol, in abundances suggesting synthetic processes rather than natural formation. The comet's coma expanded rapidly, scattering particles that interfered with satellite communications, raising alarms in space agencies. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory issued vague statements attributing the phenomena to solar heating, but internal memos leaked to the press referenced unidentified energy sources within the nucleus. Simulations modeled the object's behavior, predicting fragmentation near perihelion, yet observed stability contradicted these forecasts, implying an internal mechanism maintaining integrity. The presence of hydroxyl radicals in such quantities hinted at ongoing chemical reactions, possibly catalyzed by unknown elements from its home system. Behind closed doors at NASA headquarters, a task force assembled to monitor 3I Atlas, but transparency faltered as anomalies mounted. Public databases omitted key data sets, including high-definition images from the James Webb Space Telescope that purportedly showed symmetrical craters on the surface, features inconsistent with natural erosion. Whistleblowers from within the agency alluded to directives from higher echelons to redact findings related to the comet's potential artificiality, citing national security concerns. Comparisons to past interstellar visitors highlighted differences. Unlike Oumuamua's silent passage, 3I Atlas exhibited active responses to solar proximity, as if activating dormant systems. International partners, including ESA and Roscosmos, expressed frustration over withheld information, with some speculating that NASA had detected biosignatures or technological relics. Budget reallocations toward rapid response probes suggested preparations for interception, yet no official announcements followed. The comet's trajectory, now refined, showed a slight course adjustment post-Mars flyby, defying gravitational predictions and fueling cover-up theories. Approaching its closest solar encounter on October 30th, 2025, 3I Atlas intensified its enigmatic display, with outgassing reaching peak volumes and surface temperatures soaring. Predictions of disintegration loomed, but resilient behavior suggested otherwise, as if the object were engineered to withstand such stresses. Global telescopes focused on the event, capturing data that could rewrite our understanding of interstellar chemistry and possibly reveal clues to alien worlds. Yet, the potential for fragments to enter Earth's orbit posed unspoken risks, with models showing debris trails intersecting our planet's path. NASA's monitoring escalated, deploying additional assets under classified protocols, while public updates remained sparse. The comet's legacy, whether as a harbinger of cosmic wonders or warnings, hung in the balance, with unresolved questions about its composition and intentions persisting. Scientific communities debated the implications for astrobiology, pondering if this visitor carried the seeds of life or something more profound. Beyond perihelion, 3I Atlas will sling outward, departing our system forever. But its passage leaves enduring enigmas. Analyses of collected data promise insights into distant star systems, yet gaps in the record, attributed to NASA's selective releases, hinder full comprehension. Theories abound: a natural anomaly, a relic probe, or a deliberate messenger. Future missions may target similar objects, but the lessons from this encounter underscore the vulnerabilities in our detection networks. The comet's influence on solar system dynamics, including perturbed asteroid orbits, warrants long-term vigilance. As humanity grapples with these mysteries, the silence from official channels amplifies doubts, inviting speculation on what else lurks in the interstellar dark.